1-2-1-2 world famous wake up show. I love talking to Steve, man. It's like we got a lot of history together, man. I got to tell you something about Bone. So, at that time in like 93, 94, we doing pretty well in LA. Like, so he comes up to me, he's like, yo, you got to help me break Bone Thugs and Harmony. So he plays us the record, and everybody in the room is silent because we're thinking, man, are people supposed to slow dance to this, E? Like, what the hell's supposed to happen? At that time, the tempo in hip-hop was about 95 to 110. And this joint was like 68 beats per minute, something, don't. And it was like, so then he goes, y'all can't break this for me? I was like, I don't think it's going, I don't know, E. And he goes, I'm going to figure something out. The next time I talked to him, he said that he had hired a bunch of interns at Priority Records, and they had this thing called The Box where they showed the video. So E bought $100,000 worth of, every time you dialed in, for the video, it would charge you 99 cents. Mm-hmm. So he's like, he bought it like all over LA. And then I remember like we had just moved to LA, Sway and I, man. Every time I turned the TV on, it was on. So when you hear a joint like 30 times a day, every day, eventually like, yeah, this shit is kind of dope, man. So that was his genius way of breaking it because DJs were not helping him because it couldn't mix into nothing.
Nah. And until this day, we always have a problem trying to make a Bone Thugs record for a DJ or for the clubs. But that's how we broke it, through the music box that you controlled. They were based out of Miami. Right. And people would call all day long, and they broke the Thuggish Ruggish Bone that way.
Hey, you know what's crazy is now being a club DJ, man, I can play Bone Thugs records all goddamn day. Because 60 BPM, 65 BPM, 70 BPM, it mixes with all that ugly-ass, ignorant shit that's going around. That shit works great, and everybody loves it. So it still lives. He was so far ahead of his time,
Rest in peace, Eazy-E. That was my man right there.
Visionary. People don't even know, like, he put Will.I.am on,
Hat-Band Clan.
Hat-Band Clan and so many other people. But with Bone, they're the only group to record with Tupac, Big Pun, Eazy-E, and Biggie, and mentored by Jam Master Jay. After Eazy died, I plugged him up with Jay. I'll never forget when I got a call from Fat Joe, and then he told me that Puff was going to call me, and then he called, and he said Big was at the record plant, and they wanted to do a song with Bone, and then we put it all together, and we did Bone and Biggie. Right. I was part of that Chameleonaire Riding Dirty with Crazy Bone and Chameleonaire. Shout out Playing Skills. They won a Grammy for that. Who would think that you win a Grammy for that? And then, right. Mariah called, Breakdown. People started calling after that Bone and Biggie. Right. And till this day, they're the only group to work in the studio. No MP3, no email or record to make those records. And I was part of a lot of those. And it's a blessing.
They put out a documentary. Was it Sons of St. Clair?
Yeah, we did a project with Crazy Bone and Busy Bone called the New Waves Project. It was real elevated, different sound. We got a lot of people on it like Bun B, Yellow Wolf, Tank, the other members of Bone. We mixed it up, a couple other features, and we shot a documentary called Sons of St. Clair. We won the Mammoth Film Festival. We just came from Cleveland, did 3 sold-out premieres. So that should be coming out. All the Bone fans are dying to see that.
Is it a movie or a documentary?
It's a documentary. It's about Bone Thugs and Harmony, and Cleveland, Ohio. And there's never been a hip-hop documentary that went into the person's city or state. Because it's going to lead up to the Bone Thugs and Harmony biopic. Our end game is to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after 25 years. So anything I do in my career or my life, I try to always have an end game. I just don't get into something, to just get into it.
Damn. Steve, man.
So what was that? Legendary. That's why. What's the title of your book? You got a book coming out?
The book is called "A Coach Lasts Longer Than a Player" because I feel like I'm the coach and sometimes the artists are players. I'm gonna do a documentary and a book off that. 3 decades in the music industry, seen a lot. I'm going to spit a lot of gems and give back a lot of knowledge. Like, people don't understand, like, in the music industry, some of the biggest things is following up. Yeah. Like, if I wasn't following up, you weren't following, we wouldn't be sitting here, right? Communication. If you don't know how to communicate in life or in the music business, you're not going to get far. Right. Never take no for an answer. Right. I don't take no for an answer. Common sense, which is not common. An organization. You got to be organized. As much as you could be all over the place, you still got to be organized and have a structure to your business and always have an end game. I've been working with Scott Storch on this comeback the last 2.5 years, and my end game with him is to win a Grammy with him. Yeah. Even though he won Grammys, I want to win a Grammy with him.
Why did he fall off so drastically? It was like he was at the top of the game, and then this is the rumors I heard. My man went out to Miami to see him, and they were like, yo, he was just a little out of control. He had this house, it was out of control. The parties were out of control. Was it just too much money too fast? Nobody to kind of oversee it?
Well, to be honest with you, like, always a name, always a threat. So just because someone falls off or gets on drugs or something, if you got talent, it's never going to go.
Right.
So, talent's instilled in you. But, I went to go interview him for my talk show live with Steve LOBEL, and he asked me to manage him. I know Scott, for about 10 years, but we never really did a lot of business. If I was around all that, I probably would have kidnapped him and really helped him out.
Right.
He had $100 million. He had every #1 record.
Exactly.
And he got caught up with cocaine and lost everything. We have a big Vivo piece coming out, which we're going to talk about. It's coming out in a few weeks, and it's going to show 15 minutes of Scott Storch, and the people who love Scott or don't know Scott are going to really love it. And we put a piano on top of a rooftop, and he was playing it. But, he asked me to manage him for the last 2.5 years. He's on the biggest comeback in the game right now, working with all the young, hot, relevant artists. And I just opened up my relationships and my Rolodex and got people working with him, and we cleaned up a lot of those messes.
I can't ask this of many people, man, but there's a question for you. Do you feel there was a chance that you could have changed the outcome of history in hip-hop or somebody's life or something that you didn't do? Because us doing a radio show for over 25 years, I have a couple of moments that I regret saying, I could have grabbed that dude. I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this, but when you're around that many talented people, and some of those cats might have passed away or things, you do get in the car one day and go, oh man, I should have said something. Do you have any moments in your brain that sometimes you're sitting alone and you like, man, I regret not doing or saying something?
I mean, that's an amazing question. My only regret in the music business, which is the music business, is not the music industry to me, because it is a business. Yeah. I see people saying they're producers, but they don't know ASCAP or BMI or CSAC, and they don't know about splits and publishing. Right. So the music business, I would say my biggest regret was not spending enough time with my family. My mom passed away 6 years ago, and it made me wake up and realize that the music business and life is not about money and touring and working hard and chasing your dreams. So I had all those type of regrets. So I should have had more balance in my life in the music industry. So that's what I could say on that behalf. As far as watching any artist and stuff, look, you could take the horse to the water, you can't make it drink. So I've seen a lot of things that I didn't want to praise or condone and salute. And at the end of the day, those people learn from their mistakes. I could have stopped a lot of different things. I'm gonna save that stuff for the book, but that is a great question. But the thing that comes to me is basically having balance and regrets that I didn't spend enough time with my mom and my family. Now I go back and see my dad a lot.
Yeah, you have a reality show coming out with your dad?
Yeah, my dad is 84 years old. He has no filter, so we're doing a reality show called the OG Ted Show. Yeah. A lot of people love when I salute my dad. Like I said, praise people when they're alive, not when they're dead. Like Tech, I love you. I salute you for what you did for the culture and hip hop.
Thank you.
Same with Revolution. It's like a lot of people want to salute you when you die. And I feel like we shouldn't. We lost a lot of great people that did a lot for this culture, and we salute them when they die. So we need to salute each other while we're alive. And we need to keep this culture alive, because it's romper room right now. It's a circus. It's a free-for-all. It's the Wild Wild West. And people need to be educated about where it came from, who's who, who's this, who's that.
Yeah. Look, one of my regrets is that a lot of people don't know that how close the Wake Up Show got with Biggie Smalls.
Oh, I know.
So close that I remember how we were there when his name got changed. Everything got crazy. How you went from Biggie Smalls to Notorious B.I.G. But after the Source Awards, me and a friend of mine, Big Paul, we just broke out to a little restaurant. We were just chilling way out of the drama. And Biggie comes up. He's like, "Hey, Tech, man, how you doing, man? What's going on? Hey, Big, what's up? You want to meet my wife, man?" Sure, man. We get up, and Faith is eating food, and is not looking up at us at all. And he goes, this is his exact words. Hey, remember the friend I was telling you out in Cali, this crazy dude that put me on the air cursing? It's him. And she did not look up, and he got a little upset and was like, "Hey, I'm telling you, this is the guy." And then we start walking away because I could see that she's kind of irritated. And as we were walking away, he's like, "Fuck that, Tech, you want a photo?" So he picks her up. Me, Big Paul, Biggie, and Faith, we have, and you can see on her face, obviously, she's like, "Man, I'm fucking eating dinner, man. Leave me alone." But that's how close we were. So then when the last time he came on the Wake Up Show, I just felt like after he was busting on the air, even though these were pre-written raps, it was 6 months after Pocket died. And to me, I was like, this is a very dangerous time to be in LA kicking those raps. And it was like verbal suicide to me as he was going. And I've never talked over a freestyle in my life because I enjoy giving the platform to someone else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even push myself forward. You know what I mean? But at that moment, as he's rhyming in my head, I just took a breath. Like, man, what are you doing? And then I remember Sway and I driving home in silent, like, man, what do you think just happened? Like, dude, this dude just went on the air, and every rhyme he was kicking, it felt like, as a Pac fan, you're dissing Pac. So what? And then the next day, I got all the calls, man, from everybody I knew. Hey, if that's your boy, get him out of LA. If that's what. And when I did the research, I called people. They were like, he's out of LA. Next week, Sway and I come downstairs. There's flares everywhere, and the first thing people run by us and say, you know, Puffy got shot. We were like, huh? Then by the time we get home, they were like, Biggie got shot. And I was like, damn, man. I feel like if I go back in time, I would have tried a little bit harder to actually speak to him, grab him and say, bro, I know, because I saw the change in him, too. The young, hungry MC that came to the Wake Up Show. The Wake Up Show used to end. Everybody used to clear the room. He used to be standing where Bosco's standing. And we're like, Big, you want to rhyme? No, man, I just came to see it. This is crazy. A month later, the room used to empty. What, Big, you want to get on? We got 2 minutes. I'm good, man. I just want to see it. I love y'all. I felt like we could have did maybe a little bit more. So that's, you know, I got a few regrets, man. That's one of them.
That happened down the block, you know.
Down the block, man.
It's funny you said Big Paul, man. Who is he, in Australia?
He's in Australia, making a comeback, coming back to the U.S. Yeah,
another one who broke a lot of records and did a lot of stuff for the industry. You know, that's some hip hop though. You know, but when Pac's dead, like, you know, let someone rest in peace. You want to battle someone they're alive. It's good for the culture.
Right.
When someone passes, like, you know, let that person, like all these people talking Tupac, you know, negativity now, dogging Tupac, like,
right.
And he's dead. Like, let that man, you know, be dead and live, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. But listen, man, we can talk to you all night, man. So anything else that you're working on that we can cover?
Yeah, you know, I just want to let people know that it's really a marathon out here, not a sprint.
Okay.
You know, Nipsey Hussle's been 14 years in the making. Me and my partner, Big U, shout out Big U, you know, helped put Nipsey on.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kendrick Lamar was K-Dot. Things don't happen overnight if you're really trying to build your brand. Mm-hmm. And that people need to know that less is more. Mm-hmm. And it's quality over quantity. And that money comes and goes, but history stays. As long as you can keep making history, you're going to make money. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm just trying to stay relevant in an evolutionary changing game, mm-hmm. which is a free-for-all right now in the Wild Wild West. Me and Tom Silverman from Tommy Boy.
We had him on the show.
He told me, me, him, Eric Sermon, and a guy named Pear, we created the first online record store called TrackLib, where producers can go and sample. So we have that. I just opened a jewelry store where we're doing custom pieces for artists, but we're doing it for merchandise, not for pieces like exclusive.
Okay.
Me and Burner, I don't know if you guys know Burner. He's down Wiz. He's from the Bay. We just opened the Cookies Maywood Cannabis Shop.
Damn, man, you doing everything.
So, you know, shout out.
You can see. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I follow him on Instagram.
Right.
If you follow his Instagram page, what do you got? Like 90,000 followers.
Yeah, it's organically. Like they want to follow me because they know it's
this
real.
This cat, you'll see him. It's like he was there when Kennedy got shot. Like, like you see
anything that's happening, he's in the background.
We at the right places, and you know, I got a lot of throwback pictures from back in the days, like the Bone and Biggie sessions, or me and, you know, Pun and Fat Joe, and I got a company called Industry Connect where I'm taking all those pictures and putting on T-shirts. And I'm just living life. That's the most important thing. As we get older, we need to live life and enjoy all our hard work. Because if we die tomorrow, we're just a memory.
Right.
And we don't want to die being in this music industry, which could be stressful, and then it's over. You know what I mean?
My man is dropping science,
you know,
man.
Because we drop a lot of people from the stress and have heart attacks at a young age, and we got to take care of ourselves when we get older and exercise and do cardio. So, you know, I'm just trying to be involved in different things.
Shout out your socials real quick.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at Steve LOBEL on Twitter. We working on IG. You can Google me. You know, we have a resume. We have stripes. We have accolades. We worked hard. Right. Hard work pays off. You know.
Where do you live, man?
I live in L.A. and New York.
Okay.
You know, it's not about the candy. It's always about the candy factory, the bigger picture.
Okay.
A lot of people want to say, "Where's the bag for $1,000" when they can make millions with people? And you know,
I'm gonna invite you back with all these artists you're talking about, man.
God is great.
You can come host the show.
Nah, God is
give you
great.
the headphones.
Always remember that God is great, man. We in God's hands, and I'm easy to find. I'm real approachable. I'm far from cocky. I'm just confident who I am as a man. See, sometimes people forget who they are as a man, and they let the industry let them not be a man, and they could take the verbal abuse or the disrespect or the non-communication or non-following up. There's a lot of that goes on in the music industry, and people, get cocky or they forgot where they came from. Everything goes up must come down. Remember that. And you can get cold real quick if you hot. That's why calm is a motherfucker, and always remain humble. Always remain humble. Never forget where you come from, and that's who I am. And I just want to use platforms to give back the knowledge about the music business and hip-hop. If you don't know, like, who Proof is from D12, rest in peace, or the Dayton family, hip-hop don't know you. If you're a white rapper saying the N-word and you got your pants off your ass and fake chains and hat backwards and living the culture right now, you don't know who Third Base is or the Beastie Boys, hip-hop don't know you. I worked with Search back in the day. So our job and your job and all these other media outlets is to educate the youth and to educate them about the culture and the forefathers and hip-hop. If not, we're going to lose what we saw people die for and that we almost died for and we stressed for and we worked hard for. If not, it's going to fall apart. And it's almost over 40 years and no one ever thought it was going to be as big as it is. So again, I'm humbled and appreciative you guys had me, and God is great, man.
Give it up, y'all.
Yeah.
Give it up, y'all.
Hip-hop knows you.
Hip-hop knows you for sure, my man. Legendary career, man. World famous Wake Up Show. We're going to be right back. Thank you for coming through, man.
Man, thank
You're
you for
welcome
having
to come back anytime.
I appreciate that.
You can actually host the show, and I can go on vacation. That's what I'm going to do.
Nah, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Legendary.